Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Left Hand, Right Brain. I hope this podcast finds you well. And on the couch today we have Olivia Jewell Love.
Wow. Round of applause.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Already streets ahead of CityCast, huh?
Wow.
What do you think?
Jeez.
The production values all...
Whoa. Don't have the production.
Oh, right. Because that's your... she's the producer of CityCast. Producer of CityCast Denver, local news podcast, daily news podcast you should check out for sure. I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
Yeah, didn't mean to go after your job immediately.
Yeah,
I was just...
come for my neck in 3 seconds.
It was more of like a shot at Paul than anything else.
Wow, okay. I'll let him know.
Yeah, I'm always telling them they should be doing video because, I mean, you're youth. And
I am. Thank you. Thank you for noticing.
So youthful. Yeah, we were talking about video. Yeah, a lot of video podcasting, right? A lot of, I mean, you just watch clips, right?
Me personally?
Yeah. Do you just watch podcasts through clips? Media in general.
I do be on TikTok. I do be TikToking.
Okay. Illegal now?
Not yet.
Criminal?
They better
arrest her.
They cannot take this away from me.
Did they already do it?
No, not yet. It's supposed to be like next week or something.
All right. Well, that's why we have a news gal on.
I need this. Can't take this from me. Yeah, I watch a lot of clips, I'd say. I don't think that when I watch clips, I'm assuming that this is the truth or the news by any means. I'm more just getting my giggles from them.
Okay.
So that's probably...
So you don't get your news from TikTok?
No, I get my entertainment from TikTok, and if it's something that people are like, this is news, this is happening, I'll go and verify it with another source.
Where?
Probably like NPR or BBC or local news outlet, if it's something local.
I was gonna say, like, how are you getting your news? Like, do you like go to different sources, like the BBC and then like Al Jazeera, or like how as a news person, someone in the news media, would you suggest, and how do you? I try to
look at like a lot. I try to look at like NPR is definitely a starting spot for me a lot of times. I look at the BBC. I also look at the AP.
AP is what?
The Associated Press.
Okay.
And it's also...
Yeah, no, stop acronyming.
Sorry. And it's like a wire service for a lot of newsrooms. So a lot of their stories get sent to different newsrooms around the country. So a lot of the stuff you read that's not written by like staff writers at your local newspaper is written by AP, and it'll usually say that. So I think they're a really good source to check it out. So I look to those for national news generally. And then for local news, Colorado Sun, Denver Post, shit like that.
Okay. Shit like that.
CPR, CityCast Denver.
That's where I get all my news. To be honest, that's where I get
Denver?
All of my news. And recently got a hookup with the Denver Post, and I love that they do audio and all their stuff. All the articles come with like an audio thing. You could just click that and it reads it to you. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's a huge step for accessibility.
It totally is, and for me,
and for you.
Yeah, one small step.
One small
for me
small
being
step for
educated.
JD.
Yeah,
love it.
You started off doing journalism.
Yes.
Just how did you get into journalism?
I actually thought I was going to be a heart surgeon until my senior year of high school, which was the 2016 election.
Okay.
To date myself.
So old.
So old.
So wise.
So wise. So I was not old enough to vote in that election. Spoiler.
Okay.
And
she did anyway.
I rigged the election. And so I was just like watching all this shit happen, and all this stuff with the like fake news and all that was going down. And I was just like, oh man, there's really a need here for people who are good at communicating and good at writing. And I had never really thought about journalism other than just writing. And I've always been a good writer, but I didn't really realize that like you could do journalism as like making audio and like making video. I didn't know really that was a thing until I started getting interested in it my senior year. And then I was like, oh shit, like all these things I've used as like hobbies, like I would mix music and I would make little stupid YouTube videos and stuff. I was like, oh wait, like I could incorporate that into a career. And like I've always been a really good writer and like communicator. So I was like, oh cool, I could combine all that. And I just felt like the thing I liked about medicine and was interested in about medicine was like wanting to help.
The communication.
No, it was wanting to help people. And I wanted to help people. And I was like, the best way I can help people is by using like my best skills. And
Your
that's
voice.
And that's communicating. So then I went to journalism school and also got a Latin degree for some reason.
Hard switch from medical to journalism.
Yeah, because I mean,
way easier workload, I'm sure.
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. I didn't go to medical school. I didn't go to medical school.
Yeah. Did you have to go for 8 years to get your journalism degree?
I did a lot of crying though, but
well, that's separate.
That's separate. Though the journalism school did have an area called the Hallway of Tears, so I was not the only one crying. But yeah, so I went to journalism school and
is that a Trail of Tears reference?
We're not going to talk about that. But
because of Josh Emerson.
No, Josh, don't listen to that. But anyway, yeah, so
he's a contributor to CityCast, just for a listener. So
yeah. Hey Josh. But
he's
anyway.
definitely watching.
Hey. Yeah, so I went to journalism school and studied all things audio, video, print, digital, graphics, did all that. Also got a Latin degree for some reason.
My minor was I like right before I graduated, they're like, you could either do a journalism minor or a theater minor. You have like 1 credit either way.
What'd you do?
And I went theater.
Nice.
Because I was so in love with it at the time. I was really, really into it.
Love it.
And yeah, but so when I went, they were like, yeah, this medium's dying. All my journalism classes were like, we don't know what the fuck. But that was before podcasts really took off, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, was there a lot of that you were getting? Like, this is a dying medium?
No, I went to University of Missouri, which is a very
ew, gross. No,
it's a very prestigious journalism school.
Oh, is it?
Yes. And so I went there, and so it's a very they call it the Missouri method. But it basically means you're working in a real newsroom from the time you start. So I was working in an NPR affiliate my freshman year of college.
Okay. Yeah, you're in it. You're doing it.
Yes, I was like on air my freshman year. And well, I shouldn't have been, but I went and begged my teacher.
I shouldn't have been.
No, you start later usually, but I went and begged my professor to let me work at the NPR station. And she was like, I like that enthusiasm. And then their news director said, knock yourself out and you probably will. And I did.
How so?
I just got way in over my head trying to figure out college and how to do it, and also how to like work at a radio.
Hit your head on something comically.
No, maybe I don't.
Like a light fell.
Not that I remember, but I mean, head trauma. Who knows? But yeah, so I was in a newsroom from the time I began there, and so it was just very like you're in the thick of it. I think the only thing that they were really like, they never really talk about like it's dying or anything. The only thing that it was really like that was with print, and the capacity I worked in print was I worked at the like town newspaper making graphics for the paper, and the only thing
like pictures
like I would make like infographics and stuff, so I would make like graphs and like
like
kind of like I guess like
Squirrel Death Rising, and you'd make that graph.
Yeah, and like I don't know, sometimes if we didn't have like a photo for something, I would like make a drawing kind of
squirrel skiing.
Things like that.
A lot of squirrel related news that I got in college. You know, what are the squirrels up to?
They're really fat on college campuses. So, but yeah. So that really the thing I took from that was like in print, it's like print, in my opinion, print is dying, but like really the narrative they were kind of giving us is like print is shifting majorly. And it's probably not going to be print.
It's a good way to spin it.
Yeah,
they are news people.
Well, yeah, and they're also like, we need you to pay money to come to journalism school, and we need you to think that there's still going to be journalism.
Yeah.
And so they're like, so many kids come to journalism school and are like obsessed with newspapers because they're like, oh my God, I was the editor-in-chief of my high school newspaper. Like, can't wait to do it again. And then you get there and they're like, you know nothing, bitch. And they like start doing that.
They're like gun hand? Is that what that was?
It felt like it.
Looked like a gun in your hand.
It felt like it. Wow. But yeah, so it was kind of like they were like, all right, it's probably going to become digital pretty soon. So like get ready for that. Make everything compatible on digital and just be prepared to switch. Welcome back to Left Hand Right Brain. I'm your not host, JD.
Yeah, we had to pause there for a little technical issue. You might not the viewer might notice Olivia brought her own cans.
I'm dedicated.
Which means earphones in the biz. That's what you learn in
it's called lingo.
College. Yeah.
It's called lingo.
Yeah.
Being really cool.
Yeah. So do you feel like you got a good education and like you were
Yes.
prepared for the real world when you got out of college?
Definitely. It was very thorough, I'll say. Like, I was in the thick of it the whole time I was
How
there.
long before you got a job at CityCast and graduating?
Oh, well, I didn't work at CityCast wasn't my first job.
Right, yeah, but that's the only one I care about.
Oh, okay. Well, rude. But so I guess
That's the real journalism job.
yes. Well, to be fair, I did apply for CityCast when it was still in its like launching phase
Infancy?
while I was still in college, and they were like, "Bitch, you don't live in Colorado." And I was like, "Fair."
Damn. Okay, so you were pretty quick out of college.
Oh, well, I got rejected.
Right.
So then I worked in a newspaper for like a year and 9 months, and then
What do you mean our newspaper? The college newspaper?
no, I worked for a newspaper here, but you don't care
in
about
Denver.
that. Yeah, you don't care about
Yeah, I'm
that.
sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to. Yeah, I sacrificed that for the joke. Sorry. Welcome to
but-
comedy.
um,
But okay, yeah. So, but you were here in Denver.
yes, so
I thought you went to school somewhere else.
I did. So I graduated in May 2021,
Okay.
and then I moved here in August.
Because they were like, you have to be in Denver if you want to work for CityCast.
Yeah, but I didn't have that job yet because
Yeah,
I got rejected.
I know. I got
Let me
that
tell
part.
my story. So
Well, I also want the details.
I'm giving you the details. Just let me do it. And so, okay, I got a job at a newspaper in the foothills. And so I was a reporter for a year and
in
9
the foothills,
in the foothills. So
which is
Evergreen, Conifer, Pine, Bailey, and
Okay.
Morrison.
Mhm.
So I covered all those areas and wrote the newspaper.
What does that cover? When you say you covered all those areas, what news?
General
things?
assignment. So
Squirrels,
breaking
bears,
news, bears, fires.
fires. Yeah, sorry.
Fires.
Not a fun topic.
Police chiefs doing bullshit. I would go to meetings.
Any dangerous stuff, like, hey, I'm really cracking this
Yes,
story.
I
and
did,
like, you're undercover.
I did get a threat made against me at one point because of some reporting I did on the police chief.
Shit, okay.
But they forgot to tell me about the threat. So until
you never knew.
3 days later. So they're like, oh wait, shit. Don't go into the newsroom.
Would you rather know you're in danger or
I would
live your
have
life?
it would have been nice to know that I shouldn't have gone into the newsroom
Because
apparently
there?
somebody actively was like, we're gonna fuck you up.
Damn, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Nobody fucked me up, so it's cool.
But what was the issue with the chief?
It was, I don't know why they were pissed about it. It was just that the chief left like suddenly, and
Mysterious.
yeah, it was. I mean, it was, and now they got a new chief, and then he got put on administrative leave, and now they're disbanding their police department. So,
whoa, you could just disband police departments?
Well, they've been needing to do it in Morrison for a while. They don't have money, but and it's also like they have like 4 cops, and it's also like tiny. But anyway, yeah. And so then after like,
wait, what was the story though? What was suspicious about it?
I don't know, because that's not when I was working there. That just happened like a month ago. But yeah, so, and then after like a year of that, I started covering in Idaho Springs and Georgetown in those areas.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was covering the national murder trial of Christian Glass after a cop shot him. And that sucked. And so while I was actively like going to the trial and stuff, that's when I was interviewing with CityCast.
Okay.
And so I got the CityCast job in May.
You're doing like real journalism.
Yes. I got the job in May 2023. So
yeah, long road.
Oh man, long road, making $17 an hour, writing an entire paper for writing the paper alone for an entire county.
So you did entertainment and
I did everything.
the real news.
Yes, and also at the same time, so I could pay my rent, I was like a social media manager kind of thing on the side. So I would make TikToks for money, basically.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
How much you charge for that?
I was working for like a social media manager. She owns like a consulting firm. So I was contracting with her basically, and she'd be like, this person needs a TikTok, and I'd make it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you send you footage and you like put it together?
A lot of times it would be me in the TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and then also I would write their Facebook, like ghostwrite their Facebook posts, ghostwrite their LinkedIn shit. It was very profitable for someone who like is a writer, because when you write shit like that, like none of it has to be verifiable or true. Like when you're just like ghostwriting, be like, this product is so cool, like you got to try it out, blah, 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 emoji. And it's like, boom, you're done. and you didn't have to look anything up.
Emoji.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What in your opinion is the most overused emoji?
Oh. Probably the laugh cry emoji.
Oh, yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. That one does get used a lot
Yeah.
in my repertoire.
Yeah, you're a millennial, maybe? Yeah. Clocked.
I do think that there's something about your generation that loves labeling. You love like stamping people with like, you're this.
Yeah.
Do you like to identify something really quickly? Do you think that serves you?
I think it's kind of festive. You know, like I think we grew up on those little quizzes. It's like which
are you?
yeah, or like which Ralph Lauren polo bear are you? Like, you know, like doing those little stupid BuzzFeed quizzes. So it's like we love labels. We love to figure out which one we are.
I like to accept people as they are.
Oh, you're such a good person.
Thank you.
I'm not.
We're getting there.
Maybe someday.
Let me tell my story.
Are you telling one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wow. Jeez.
All right,
so
mute me.
Aggressive. I wanted to see what the last emoji you used was. Can you go to your phone and see what the last one you used was?
Yes.
Mine was the winky kissy face with the heart.
That's sassy.
Is it? It's to my wife.
Oh, saucy.
Is it? It's just like I love you. If I wanted to be saucy, it'd be like something else.
Oh, the eggplant emoji?
Yeah, probably.
Mine's just the crying emoji, but also like used in the context. Probably
the Hall of Tears.
It's probably used in the context of like laughing. You know, you might not get it as a millennial. But
is it a way to dismiss the feelings of other people? Is that what you find it most useful for?
No,
because I feel like you talk about it a lot on CityCast.
Dismissing others?
Well, just being like, you're this generation. Like Bree's Gen X. She's the host of CityCast.
I don't think I'm on CityCast that much.
You are.
Oh.
I listen to every episode.
And you think I'm dismissing people a lot on CityCast? No,
I think it's just funny.
Oh. Well.
Do you find it as a tool to do that? Is that why you like identifying people through
no,
their
I think I've just started doing it because everybody's like, oh, you're the Gen Z producer.
Yeah, and everyone does it. So
everybody says I'm the Gen Z producer. So I'm like, okay, might as well lean in. I'm Gen Z, so you're whatever the fuck you are.
You're like, I'm bringing the youth to it, and you're bringing death.
I'm like, if I'm Gen Z, then you're whatever generation you are, because we're each a generation. So I'm going to call you what you are.
Yeah. I mean, that didn't really start till like someone branded the greatest generation, right? And they didn't call themselves that. Somebody labeled them the greatest generation.
I feel like it's just like
it's come down to Gen Alpha now.
Yeah, I think the whole thing with it was like our obsession with calling people boomers.
Our obsession?
Well, just as a people, as a nation, calling people boomers just kind of united us. So now we're like, what if we just label everyone what generation they are?
Sure.
Why not?
Sure.
Everybody, there's lots of shared common traits in each generation.
Mm-hmm.
So might as well.
Yeah. But as a millennial, me being a millennial.
Yeah.
What do you think that says about me? I mean, what do you get from that?
Do you say that you're adulting today?
No.
Do you own any like Ray Dunn mugs that say like, you know, that shit you get at TJ Maxx, the mugs that have like the really skinny writing on them? Say like I can't girl boss before my coffee.
No.
Well,
my wife has one that has an M on it for her name that her mother gave her.
Well,
does that count?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry. I just thought it was interesting. I thought maybe
it's good to know.
Yeah.
It's good to label.
Yeah. No,
accept your label.
Okay. I do think Gen Zs can be Nazis about it. That's what I was getting at. You know, like you're this and don't ever try and do anything else.
I mean, you can't change what generation you're born in.
No, but I can.
You could lie.
Me. I guess I want to be an individual.
You are.
Thank you. I guess the idea of labeling takes away that to me, and it's hard for me.
I just think it's fun. I think it's like the BuzzFeed quizzes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that.
I'm not trying to put you in a box.
Thank you.
It's just a joke for me.
Right.
But I've been known to be deadpan about my jokes, and then people write in. Somebody wrote in and told me I had a dark heart.
A dark heart.
Because remember when we were on the Mary Zinmas episode of CityCast? When we were on that episode of CityCast, and Paul was telling us about. Oh, that was weird. Paul was telling us about the the guy in Castle Rock who had the really bright Christmas display, and
Right.
people kept calling the cops on him. And I was like,
Should
at that point, you just got to take matters into your own hands and start cutting cords.
Uh-huh.
And then someone wrote in and said, how dark-hearted can you be
Jesus.
to do that? And I was like, hey, that was a joke. Sorry that you thought that was real. That was just me making a bad joke.
Sorry, boomer.
I was like, okay, boomer. No, I don't know. But I was like, yeah, that was a joke. I just didn't laugh because that's just how I deliver.
No, yeah.
But yeah, dark-hearted.
I mean, I guess I didn't take it as a joke. I was like, wow, she really wants to like get out there and do stuff.
I'm really not
Like be active.
Be active and going to cut
in
down
the community. You know,
I'm
really.
active in my community. I go, if you guys are complaining, I'll take care of it.
Right,
I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
I think that goes with you know, you're saying you wanted to do the most good you can. You got into the communication stuff.
Yeah. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Taking care of people's complaints.
Yeah. I would say you're better than a heart surgeon.
Yeah.
You're a better person than any heart surgeon.
I'm really saving lives every day out there producing a podcast. It's really like life, like, I don't know. It's just really important work.
I think so. I enjoy it. I like podcasts.
Good.
I do think listening to a podcast can influence a person.
I'm glad I can save your life every day.
Well, I mean, okay, sure. I won't take that away from you. That's fine.
Thanks.
What are the big news stories you think people are looking forward to or should be looking out for in this coming year? Since you're a news hound, your fingers on the pulse. Does news bore you? Is this like biz talk? You're like, I don't want to talk about work.
Kinda.
All right. Well, we can talk about your hot boyfriend if you want, that you never sent me pictures of.
You want me to show
you? And I thought it'd be weird to be like, hey, send me a picture of your hot boyfriend.
That would have been fun. I would have
the podcast.
I'll show you my hot boyfriend.
Yeah, if you could screen share that with me, and then we could put it up for the podcast.
He's not gonna like that.
I mean, I looked him up on your Instagram. Is that weird? I went to your Instagram. I was like, oh yeah, there he is.
I looked him up. Or I looked your Instagram. I went and watched clips on your Instagram to get a vibe.
Well, you didn't even watch the whole podcast.
I watched the whole podcast with Paul, so then I could talk to him about it and tell him I watched a podcast. Hey, don't do that. That's weird.
That you put pictures out for people to look at, and I'm going to look at them? Okay, yeah.
And he's like 6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you're wearing the very tall boots.
These are literally flat, dude.
Yeah, okay, I just saw that now. You're just that tall. That's
I'm
crazy.
I'm really tall. This is actually like the first time I've had a tall boyfriend. I have notoriously dated like kind of short guys. Yeah, look at that. Okay. All right, that's enough of that. That's weird.
What?
Stop. Is this live?
Is this live?
My
no,
Instagram.
It's not live, but I mean.
Yeah, but anyway.
I just pulled up a picture of her and her boyfriend. Just so,
notoriously, I have dated guys the same height as me or shorter. I'm like almost 6 foot. It's hard to find a man that is taller than me. Do
you discriminate on height?
I just said that I have only dated guys that are my height or shorter.
So nothing taller. You're not into that.
My boyfriend right now is like 6'5".
But it's the first one. So you know, was that a standard you had, or is it just something you didn't attract before?
It's a wish.
Okay, so you like taller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love to wear big shoes. It's a wish, but it just doesn't happen that much.
Okay.
I found a unicorn.
A taller man is a unicorn?
Yes, who's like not a piece of shit. He's like wonderful. He's an amazing person.
Okay, well, that's good.
And he's hot.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah. It's the number one thing she wants you to remember from this podcast.
He also plays the banjo. So, another...
Is that the hottest of the string instruments?
Well, I play guitar, so that's already like hot.
Okay.
For me. Pointing my hotness.
Did you pick up the guitar to like, I'm going to attract a mate with this?
No, I actually picked up the guitar in high school because my high school boyfriend told me, like, because I was like, I think I'm going to start learning guitar. And he was like doing some like electric guitar thing. I can't even remember it now because I barely play electric guitar anymore. But he was like, I was like, oh, I'm going to learn to do those like pitch tone things. And he was like, oh, you won't be able to learn that quickly. Like, that's really hard. It's going to take you a long time. And then out of spite, I was like, I'm going to fucking learn this immediately. And then I learned it like really fast. So then I just started learning everything out of spite. And so basically, like most of my musical endeavors have been out of spite. So yeah,
Like most of my endeavors have started with spite.
it's so powerful for me.
Me too. Me too.
I'm like, I am going to prove you wrong really epically.
Yeah, I'm at this point where I mean, most of my life, I mean, I'm pretty good, pretty happy with most things, and I'm
Yeah.
having trouble getting motivated to
I
do
know.
anything.
Oh God. It's wild.
Yeah.
Spite really.
It is a big motivator. I mean, one of the questions I ask most of the time on the pod is, what motivates you? And then whatever my go-to joke is, whatever they say, I just say the correct answer, spite. So
Yeah, it's
but you got it right.
it's bad. I've really like done some really fabulous things out of spite. But I'm seeking healthier
So like when
options.
yeah, I picture you in high school and someone was like, you never know what's going on in the news, and now you switch from being like a heart surgeon to like a news
No,
person.
that one, I guess that was out of spite, but not for like a specific. It wasn't. It was more like out of spite for like the like system and like the government.
Right.
Wasn't like a specific person as some of my past endeavors have been.
So it was you getting into journalism and wanting to do good in the world? I mean, is that something you found is positive, or do you think it's been good, or have you only gotten more depressed? Because I mean, have things only gotten worse? How do you feel about the world, the state of the union,
I don't
as it were?
know. It's like it's kind of like back and forth. I feel like it oscillates a lot for me because like I don't know. Sometimes I would feel like I was doing a lot of good. Like when I was a reporter, I would sometimes feel like I was doing really good, and I would like, get feedback from people, and they would be like, "Oh my God, like thank you for writing that. We really need that in the community, and like you're keeping us informed." Blah
Well,
blah
the
blah.
police chief didn't like that.
She actually was.
It was a female police chief?
Yeah, and she actually
Whoa.
tipped me off before anyone else. So she was a real one. She was.
She tipped you off that she was leaving?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She called me on
And
her
then
personal.
they got mad about it?
But anyway,
Crazy.
I would get like good comments, and then like I would get I couldn't post anything on our Facebook page because then I would get a deluge of people just being like, "Why weren't you at the JV basketball game last night? You're not covering high school sports. You don't care about our community." And like just awful comments. They'd be like, "You're a terrible journalist. You suck. Like you weren't at the baseball game," and just like awful shit like saying to me. And I'm like, I'm just one person. I was also like fresh out of college in a brand new state, didn't know a soul. And I'm just like trying to do my thing. And like, I wasn't a sports journalist. Like, I'm like, why? I don't have time to go to all the games.
But you wrote the whole paper. So
I wrote the whole
you
paper.
have to do all the sections.
I tried my best, dude. And so I would be
Well,
like,
you didn't make it to the baseball game.
yeah, no. And I knew because they would tell me. And so I'd be like, I would love if you could, send me the scores, send me the highlights, and I could write up a little blurb because I can't make it tonight. And they'd be like, just so mad at me. And so it really sucked. A lot of that. But
Journalism sucks. You heard it
I
here
don't know.
first.
And then the stuff like with the Christian Glass murder, that was just.
Is this like a George Floyd thing I should know about? You keep mentioning it. Like it should be something I should be more
I mean, I don't
informed
know
about.
that you should know about it or not, but it was.
What is it? Tell me.
He's a mentally ill 22-year-old who his car got stuck on a
in
rock.
Boulder.
No, in Silver Plume.
Okay.
His car got stuck on a boulder in Silver Plume, and he called for help, and then they ended up shooting him.
Yeah, because he was like, I have a knife or something, right?
Yeah.
Is this different? Okay.
No, he had a knife.
I remember this. I remember the story.
And so I was covering that, and it was just like awful.
That was before you got to CityCast. Crazy.
Yeah, and it was horrible, and it was just like, I interviewed the parents, and it was just like, I sat in a room with his parents, and it was one of the most like heart-wrenching things I've ever done. And like I would go to the trials and like sit there, and it was just like horrible. And like I don't know, I spent time like writing this shit, and I don't know. I was hoping that it would make a difference and stuff, and like I don't know, I won an award for it, but then once I got the job at CityCast, somebody else took over the story, and then it was a hung jury, and the guy didn't get charged, so like nothing even happened. So I just kind of felt like, did we all just suffer? Like we all just watched that body cam footage, and we all just like kind of suffered for nothing to even happen, and they're gonna like they're retrialing it, but like it just kind of felt like, you know,
It's a lot, yeah.
we all, did this and no justice was served. It felt so obvious, like watching it. I had to watch that footage for $17 an hour, and I watched it and I was like, oh my God, like clearly this is fucked up. And then, it was a hung jury and, one person decided the fate and it just sucks. So I don't know. And like, I don't know, being at CityCast, it's like different. And, we get a lot of really positive comments from people being like, thank you so much for like informing me, all this stuff. But now, like, it definitely has a lot bigger reach than where I was before because I was in a like lot smaller community area and like hyper local. And so there's a lot more like hate and shit,
Mm.
like people say some pretty specific shit.
I'm sorry.
It's like, no, not like anything you say. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're always very constructive, but like, I don't know. I feel like,
No, I'm sorry you have to deal with that.
no, yeah. But like, we had somebody commented because one of my biggest ops, actually, I'm not even going to name
Ops.
drop them, opponents, like,
Okay.
but I'm not even going to name drop them, but an account online that I dislike, Shmoo Better
Yeah, but
member.
you don't have to say. Yeah, I don't care.
But
Fuck them. I already hate them.
fuck them. But anyway, we like mentioned them in a show, and then they like made a really mean post about us, and then somebody, like everybody was commenting and being like, yeah, fuck them, and then somebody commented and said, when the debate starts to repeal the 19th Amendment, aka women's right to vote, we're gonna play a clip of those two girls talking, and that'll be enough of a testimony.
Dude.
And I was like, why
that
did
is
you
a
just
rough one,
say
dude.
the most fucking personal, like mean, like
yeah.
like vitriolic thing? I was like, oh my God,
I'm sorry.
like
Yeah,
people
that's a
are
rough one.
awful. People are just like calling me a cunt in the comments and stuff. And I'm like, dude, it's wild. And I'm
That
like,
is a lot.
there's a lot of like nice stuff too, and there's a lot of positivity. And I like to think that it like,
but who cares about that?
well,
It's harder to hold that.
It
I
is,
guess.
and
That's
like
what I'm
also
saying.
when the stuff gets so personal, and like I like to think the good outweighs the bad, but sometimes it's just so hard to like.
Public figure now.
It's hard.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I think journalism school didn't prepare me for, because I didn't know going into all this, even like at the newspaper, I didn't know I was going to be a public figure. I didn't know. Like, and they did not prepare me for that, because like even at the newspaper, I didn't know people were going to like, recognize me
Know
or
how to get a hold of you.
well, they didn't, prepare you for like, someone bomb threatening your office and like shit like that. They didn't prepare you for how to be a public figure. And like, I did not expect that at all. And like in the newspaper, I was kind of like, oh, wow, like this is kind of a lot, but like, at least it's print. So I can kind of distance myself. And then like, now it's like people hear my voice and they're like, your voice is annoying. Or like, they see you and they're like, you're fucking ugly. And it's like, okay, it's like, wow, how do you deal with that? It's a lot. So I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely the like main thing. I'm like, I feel like I have a great journalism education. They really prepared me for all the technical stuff, but that thing, it was like severely lacking.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. Sorry, I keep trying to find this notebook pad I had with these lightning round questions, but this junk drawer is just full of junk now, so I can't find it. But man, that sounds hard. I'm so sorry you have to go through that.
Okay. I mean, it's part of the job.
Well, yeah, I think it's interesting. Like, if you could go back to college and teach a course about it, would that be a big part of it? Maybe.
For sure, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say.
I mean, people say don't read the comments, but I mean, it's hard. It's hard.
I don't know. And also, we're such a small team at CityCast. There's only 4 of us. Mm-hmm. So somebody's got to read the comments.
They have to?
I don't know. How do you not?
Have Paul do it.
Paul has feelings
He's the
too.
boss.
Paul has feelings too.
Sure, but
I'm the producer. But the thing is, though,
you're the producer.
I know Paul's also a producer, but Paul is also like a host, and so like
I'd say you're right there with hosting. You're in there. But producers are hosts now.
Kind of.
Shout out Jamie.
But I'm like, I'm responsible for like my talent, my hosts, making sure they have.
Oh, your hosts. Gotcha.
Making sure they have, the best chance of having a great show and the best like
setting them, blocking them from that is
setting them up from success. I'm not blocking them, I'm not trying to like not let them see anything, but like I know that like with Brie, she does better when she doesn't see that shit and she doesn't want to see it. So like if there's something like that, I'll tell her. I'll be like, hey, by the way, there's a really mean post on Twitter. And like I don't think you should go look at it.
She doesn't need to know that people think she's ugly or something.
Like that doesn't, it's not helpful.
That doesn't serve anybody.
It's not helpful, but I know Paul has a sixth sense of like he has like a sixth sense of like wanting to know, needing to know.
Oh.
And I think I kind of have it too. And so like he goes and looks.
He needs to know people are calling him ugly.
Nobody calls him ugly, I don't think.
You
At least
don't know
not yet. But like,
don't do that.
I feel like, don't do that. But I feel like, he just has like a morbid fascination, like a morbid curiosity and wants to know. And I think I might have it too. And it's like, I'm not sure it's the greatest thing, but I don't know how to stop,
Yeah.
It's like, so, but I feel like as a producer, I need to be fielding that shit so that I can, prepare my hosts to like have a successful show, and I can prepare them to like be successful at their jobs.
So you think you need to hear that feedback to like guide the show in a certain direction?
Well, I want to be able to like
people like this about the show, so let's do more of this kind of stuff.
Sometimes, yeah. And also I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, it's just interesting what goes into producing a show like that,
Sometimes, I mean, I a lot of the feedback, a lot of the like negative stuff, it's just kind of like, oh, people are just
people are gonna be dicks or whatever.
But like some of it, it's like, oh, like they might have had a point there, or like whatever it is. So like trying to discern that, but you can't really filter through. Like you have to kind of look at it all if you want to look at some of it. So I don't really know what the answer is there.
Yeah, it's a hard.
I need a personal assistant.
Oh yeah, I need a personal assistant
to shield my eyes.
Yeah. Read this comment, not this comment.
Yeah, tell me.
But I did like what you had to say on an earlier episode this week where you talked about landlords and renting in Denver. Because Paul had an economist on who talked about he was like because there's some program that is like dictating the rent prices in Denver, right?
Real page.
And he was an advocate for this app or algorithm and for rent landlords.
Yes, he's literally a landlord advocate. Like goes to the Capitol and lobbies for them.
Crazy that that's a thing.
Literally.
But so
like get a real job.
The most ridiculous thing he said was like, to me, as like someone who rents and has been renting and is renting, and this market's ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, I love my landlord. My landlord's great. Don't come after me.
Don't evict him.
I think you're great. I think you're great, and I'm not talking about you. I'm talking, but the idea that he was like, landlords don't set the prices. The market sets the prices for, what things are worth. And if anybody who doesn't live in Denver rents are ridiculous here. Yes. Isn't it like New York prices to live in Denver?
Yeah.
Then he was like, oh no, you're supposed to go in and negotiate with these people.
It was just like, so.
And you recently moved, so it's like, that's not your experience.
It doesn't happen. It's so funny. Like my dad, just he's a boomer, he hasn't rented in who knows how long.
Probably never.
No, he did. But like, eons ago.
Yeah, he rented for a sack of cabbage and a fucking
no.
And he mowed the lawn. And they're like, you could live in our house.
Well, to be honest, my dad is a carpenter, so he literally got to negotiate his rent by fixing
He's
the
like,
place.
I built this house.
No,
Can I live
he like
here?
fixed the place he lived to like, negotiate it down. So like, yeah. But I make a podcast. So what am I gonna do for him? But like literally. So he was like, when I was living at my old apartment, he was like, you just gotta go in there and tell him like, don't raise my rent this year. And I was like, really? Like, doesn't seem like that's gonna work. And he was like, just go in there, be confident, and do it.
Because you were getting like 1-year leases?
Yeah. And they were like, and I was like, I feel like they're gonna raise it. And he's like, just go in there and tell him not to. So I go in there and I'm like, please.
You sit down and you talk to a person.
Yes. I go in my leasing office. They let me sit to a person. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm a great tenant. I've never been late on rent. I have never had any issues.
People can be late on rent?
I don't know. I've never had any complaints. I've never done anything bad. Everything's always perfect.
I'm always worried they're going to come to me like the next day and be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I don't know. I've too
never
scared.
Been late on rent
me
either.
neither. I'm too scared.
Yeah,
but like,
again, yeah.
Anyway, so I'm like, I'm a perfect tenant. Please don't raise my rent. Please keep it the same. I've been here however many years. Like, please just keep it the same. And they just like looked at me and they were like, we don't control that. They're like, we can't do
I
anything.
guess that's an argument for it. Landlords don't make
That guy wasn't the landlord. They were just people that worked in the office.
Okay.
Because they own like however many stupid amount of properties. It's definitely one of those like Graystar or other big conglomerates that own a shit ton of properties. So like they're just Joe Schmo in the office, and they just like looked at me and were like,
We have no control.
yeah, and they were like, it just automatically does it. And I was like, can you tell them not to? And they were like, no. And I was like, cool. And like literally, like I said on CityCast, when I moved in there, I was leaving a domestic violence situation. So my mom literally went in there because I needed an apartment that day. My parents went in there. My mom was like, I would pay the whole year up front right now if you'll give us a lower rate. And they were like, we can't do that. They're like, we don't do that. And it's like,
Dick, you don't want money?
yeah, it's like, dude,
I'm trying to
she
give
will
you
give
money.
you a stack of money right now. So it's like, it's so clear that it's not even a money thing at this point. Cause like,
It's just
my
like this
parents have money.
machine.
I don't have money, clearly, but my parents have money. And they were like, we will give you money. We will give you a lot of money all at once. And they were like, we can't do that. Like, so it's like, just stupid. And it was so dumb when he was like, oh yeah, you just negotiate. I'm like, no, actually I've tried. And, me being poor, I've tried. And my parents not being poor have tried. And it didn't work. I mean, maybe if I had like a small landlord who's cool, like my brother in Kansas City just like rents some guy's condo, and that guy's never raised his rent.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure you can negotiate if it's just like a guy, but if it's some huge property, they just laugh at you, like literally scoff at you.
Yeah, we have it's just like an older couple that owns a couple different places around here, and like
which is great.
Yeah, we really lucked into that, and like very lucky. Don't kick us out.
Do not.
I'm not talking about you. We're talking about this. But it's crazy. I mean, it's just like so disheartening, and then there's like the human thing is taken out of it. There's like we're just a juggernaut that makes so much money we don't give a shit that you want to pay
literally
1 year in full right now.
I know, and my mom pulled the whole like the sob story. Even it was like, dude, like she's fleeing right now.
This is crazy.
Yeah, no, like literally because like my parents
are you okay? I'm sorry. This is just an interesting thing. Are you? I mean,
no, I'm okay.
Right.
I'm fine. This was right when I moved to Colorado. I moved here with my ex, and then I lived with him for about 2 weeks. And
I thought this was recent. I thought maybe this was like a guy I met like last summer or something.
I don't think anyone I know has.
That guy?
I don't think anyone here has met him, but no.
Good.
Good. But yeah, no, I moved out here with him. He like kind of forced me to move out here. I didn't want to come here.
Oh,
and
interesting.
He forced me. And then I lived with him for about 2 weeks. And then I was like, oh shit, like this is bad. I was like, this is not good. So I like locked myself in the bathroom and called my parents and was like, I got to get out of here. So they drove from Kansas the next day. And while he was at work, like we moved all my shit out.
Wow.
And then at the end of the day, me and my dad went in, and I was just like, I'm leaving.
How old are you? I mean, just
22.
I'm sorry.
And
this
I was
is
like yeah, it was a lot. It was crazy. And like, I had started my job that week. I didn't know a soul. Like, I didn't know anybody.
You're writing for a local newspaper.
Yeah, I was making $17 an hour. So I was like, I was living thin the first year or so on that. But
so where'd you end up? How'd you end up? Because I mean, you're good now.
Yes.
But like, how did you get? Where did you go? How did you get a place?
I actually, so my parents, I told my editor at the time, I was like, hey, this is the situation. And he was like bewildered. He was like, oh my God. He was like, you can hang out at the newsroom. We had this like.
He's like, you could sleep here?
Well, we had this like abandoned newsroom in Evergreen that was like, it looked like it had been left in an apocalypse because it kind of had during COVID, and like everybody's shit was like still on their desks, but nobody had come back, and it was like dust. It was so weird, like very like post-apocalyptic. But so like I just hung out there by myself all day, and like he was like, you can just chill here, and I was like, okay. So I just like locked myself in this office all day, and my parents like took turns calling apartments in the area while they were driving down.
Jesus.
And like being like,
they're on it, man.
My parents are amazing. And my mom's actually done this for like multiple people in her life. So like she knows the drill. Like my mom is like a ride or die. Like, I mean, as you hope your parents would be, but like they really are. And so they took turns calling. And so they actually called one that said they had something available that day. And it actually ended up being one that I had toured with my ex before we moved here. And I really liked, but they didn't have something that was going to work for us. Like
at the time.
Yeah, when we needed it. But so it ended up being that place, and it was kind of weird because it was my new address at that place was going to be on Jewell Ave, which is my middle name, so it felt very
Gotcha.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
serendipitous. Like
so
it's all falling. I mean,
it came together, and so I was able to move in that day, and my parents
wow.
helped me and my cat get all my stuff in there. And then, they kind of helped me get some household essentials and stuff. And then they were like, "You good? You sure you don't want to come home?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." So then
So this guy didn't like try to find you or
he did.
anything. I mean, I'm sorry to bring
No,
it up,
it's
but
okay.
it's
It's
like
okay. I'm comfortable talking about it. He was like reaching out to me and stuff, so I blocked him on everything.
you can change your number.
No, luckily he let it drop because I was like worried I was gonna have to get a restraining order
Right?
because
Yeah.
yeah. But I did not have to because I just didn't tell him where I went or anything. So, and then everybody at work like knew because I told him I was like in
Yeah.
case he like rolls
Good.
up,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But he never did, and so I just started over at this new place, and then
Crazy.
I didn't know anyone, and I just there were some guys that lived downstairs, and I just started harassing them. And I was like, "Hey, you guys want to be friends?" So I can make some friends, and just like became friends with these two guys downstairs. So then I had some people to I didn't have furniture. I had like a chair. So I like made
Like a
friends.
real psycho.
Well, I just left.
No,
I
I
didn't
get it.
have
No, I
anything.
get you.
So
But like these guys coming over,
yeah,
like she only has one.
no,
chair?
I don't know if I was ready to explain it to them yet.
Sure. Yeah.
But like so I found some really cheap and cute furniture on Facebook
And cat.
Marketplace and cat. And I drove up to Evergreen by myself, and this lady like scolded me because it was like nighttime and I had driven to Evergreen by myself. She was like, "Why did you come here by yourself?" I was like, "I don't know anyone. I'm sorry. I just wanted this furniture." So that once I had a couple like guy friends, they could help me carry my new furniture into my house, and I got it going. Just built it up. So yeah.
You're a big thrifting fan now.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why I like thrifting.
I've been a big thrifting fan my whole life, but
Right. And it's not just like clothes. You're like
no.
going in for antique glass, is what you told me.
Antique glass is one of my big things.
Because when we were scheduling this, just for listener, I was like, "Oh, I live over here," and she was like, "Oh, there's a great arc there."
There is.
And then we discussed how it smells like pee.
It does smell like pee.
But you're saying that they have good antique glass.
They have a really big glassware section.
Are you looking for that glass that like glows in the dark?
I love that stuff. And
that was like radioactive and women died.
Uranium glass.
Yeah.
No, they died from making watches because they would lick
mercury.
No, it was uranium. They were
Okay.
licking their paintbrushes to get them thin enough to make the marks. So they were licking the uranium.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It's just like all the crazy shit we've done as a
Yeah.
race that like we're like, "Oh yeah, that is
Oh,
why you went
yeah.
insane. You were touching mercury your whole life."
Yeah, but no, it is the
They're
uranium.
just like,
I
she's
really,
crazy.
she's so quirky. What a girly girl. But yeah, no, I like the uranium glass. I have a few. It's very hard to find because of the resellers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, maybe for a listener, what do you look for, and what is uranium glass?
Uranium glass is like a very light green glass. It's like a Depression era glass, and under a black light, it glows. They have it in lots of like saucers and teacups and like little like sherbet glasses. Lots of pretty much like everything, and it's a lot of times has like
it's
little.
safe to eat out of though. You're like, I wouldn't do it.
I think I have. I don't know that it is. Mostly what I have is pink Depression glass, which like doesn't glow under anything, and I do drink and eat out of it. I love pink, so I love the pink glass, and it's easier to find than the green glass. But my super hot boyfriend got me a piece of green glass for Christmas, so
I'll pull up another picture of him.
Stop! He's gonna be embarrassed.
Hey,
There he
this
is.
What it is.
There he is with his face blacked out. He was the in Shrek. They're like, "Pick 3, my lord." You know that reference.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that was him.
You're not in this picture.
Yeah, I am. What do you mean? That's me in red.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Anyway,
you're wearing a wig.
I am because I'm Lord Farquaad. We ended up winning that costume contest.
Guys, got to get on the Instagram. Tell people what your Instagram is if they want.
At Waste of My Life.
Yeah, and don't be mean.
Yeah, if you cyberbully me, I'm gonna have a meltdown. My therapist will know about it.
Yeah, sorry about that whole situation. That's
what?
rough.
The
domestic violence thing and then the bullying thing. It's a lot that comes with it. So you have to love the job, is what I guess it comes down to.
And I do. I really do. I'm very happy there. It's just like, I don't know. It's a thing that happens, and I haven't figured
It
out.
has to be exciting, right? I mean, like
It's
you're
just-
like in the city, you're
Yeah.
fucking doing news.
No, it's so cool.
And you're like, and it's fucking dope. I mean, when I came to record the Christmas episode with you guys, I was like downtown, you're parking. It was like, I mean, it's like it's fun for me. I think podcasting's like a party for me. You guys, I mean, it's your job, but for me, I was like, it was like cool. I was like, city living, just coming down there.
Oh,
and like,
I mean, this is
you guys in a high-rise building. You're recording your podcast. It's fucking sick.
It's really cool, and like this is like exactly what I wanted when I was in college. Because when I was still in college and I saw this job open up, I was like, oh my god, I'd be perfect for this job. I was like, oh my god, this sounds, because they hadn't launched yet, but I was like, this sounds so cool. And I was like, I'd be so good at this because I love local news, you know.
And do people know what podcast was back then, or were they just
I was doing podcast stuff in college.
Okay.
This 2021.
Yeah, 2016. Yeah, it's coming in.
Yeah. So
wait, you said you graduated high school in 2016?
2017.
2017. Okay.
Yeah. So I was doing some podcast stuff in college because I mostly focused on radio. But at the NPR station I was working at, we were also doing like some podcasting stuff. They had a few podcasts that I was working on. So
NPR just puts out their shit as podcasts.
Yeah. We had a separation.
They
though,
have different now.
At my
culture
station.
happy hour. I love it.
Yeah, we had a few different, you know, I did the newscast stuff and then I did like the separate, you know, these are our shows. So it was different and I was aware of it. I kind of thought I was going to be radio. That's kind of what I expected. But then when this came up, I was like, oh shit, this is it. This is the thing.
Yeah. So you like, what do you think was about radio over writing that you were drawn to?
I just like audio. I like the audio medium. I like editing audio. I love mixing.
Do you love mixing?
And and
Did you put that in your resume? I love mixing.
That's what like it was written in the top in like a cutesy font. I love mixing. No, but yeah, so
No, but yeah.
I don't know. I love to write. I've always liked to write, but I just don't love print, frankly. I mean,
yeah, no one reads.
I don't know. I was very focused on broadcast in college, like radio broadcast and stuff. So when I was writing for the paper, my stuff is always very concise. And they were looking for like longer stuff, and I would be just very
in print.
Yeah, like they'd be wanting longer stories and stuff. And my stuff,
they get paid by the word, huh?
No, I would be getting paid a lot more at that point. But no, so.
How many times did you just have AI write your stories?
I've actually never used AI. Like I've never used ChatGPT.
You can do it right now if you want.
I've watched my old boss of the social media management stuff use it. I watched it like actively disobeying her. We were co-working the other day, and she said, "Do not use." She like set the parameters on it and said, "Do not use the word elevate." She was having it write Instagram captions for her, and she said, "Do not use the word elevate in your caption." And it had the fucking word elevate in it. And she said, "That's wrong. I just asked you not to use the word elevate." And then each time it still had it in there. And it was like.
It sounds like she's being a bitch to it. So.
Well.
No, I'm just joking. Maybe she has it nicely.
If you ask nicely.
That's what my wife was telling me. If you're like nicer to it, it like does better for you.
It has feelings?
I don't know if it has feelings, but I mean, it's made by people and people are like have biases. So. If it wants you to be nice to it, if you tell it it's doing a good job, which I do every now and then because I kind of have like a long document for left hand, right brain now, I'll be like, hey, this is the transcript for episode blah, blah, blah. Write a description for me for YouTube and for the podcast. And it'll do it. And I'll be like, that's great. Thank you. I
don't know how I feel about that. That makes it like not a tool anymore.
That is totally a tool.
But what do you have to tell Adobe Audition like, good job?
No, because it doesn't. There's nowhere to. I would if it wanted that.
Why does it have once? I don't like that. I want it to just function. I just want it to do it.
Wow.
And if it's a person doing it, I'll say thank you.
When the AI war started, I guess we know who's who's getting it first.
No, I said Jared Polis is going to survive the AI war because he's constantly pandering to them on his Twitter.
Who's Jared Polis?
The fuck? The governor of Colorado?
Of this state?
Bitch, what?
Sorry, I don't know political figures. I only know the mayor because he's your guys' best friend on the podcast, apparently.
America?
The mayor of Denver.
Oh, Mikey J.
Yeah. Paul even dresses like him sometimes. No,
he does. That jacket.
He wore a jacket that looked like it once. All right, just throwing it out there.
It's a cool jacket.
It is a cool jacket.
I have one that looks like it too.
Yeah, I mean,
I had it before Mike Johnston, probably though. thrifted that like in high school.
I know the fashion ones, the episodes you guys do about fashion totally get me. I'm like, fuck.
When do we do them about fashion? When's the
You've
last
done
time
a
we did a
couple.
fashion
It's a while
episode?
ago, but
We did like the best dressed.
yeah, you
and-
guys talk about like how politicians dress sometimes.
Yeah.
It's my favorite episode.
Lauren Boebert in her express haul.
Yeah.
Looks like
Hey,
she's off the rack at the mall.
She seems like a very nice person. I enjoyed that podcast series.
She's-
I think it was great journalism.
Her
The
house
best journalism you guys have maybe ever done.
Wow.
I think. That's just my opinion.
Her house looks like the inside of a TJ Maxx, for the record. I went in there.
You know, I try not to judge people.
That wasn't a well, that was just an observation.
Okay.
Literally looks like TJ Maxx in there.
Well, you know, she just moved, so.
Yeah, I was surprised there were a lot
Anyway, you guys gotta check that out.
Do it.
Well, yeah, you've had a crazy ride to get here. Do you like Colorado? You think you'll stay here?
I do
Talk
like
about
it.
Kansas City a lot for some reason.
That's my born and raised.
Okay, so
Born
you
and
think
raised.
you'll go back?
Maybe someday.
Okay, so it's interesting you say you got bullied to come here.
I'm happy. I know I came here under duress, but I'm happy here now.
Okay.
I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you're doing it. That's
yeah,
awesome.
no, I love it here now. But yeah, I was
Which one do you like better, the 5280 studios or the Westward? Because you got CityCast records in both sometimes. So.
Westward, the parking and traffic is less stressful at
It's
Westward.
down on Broadway, just so people know.
But 5280 is more of a vibe.
That's downtown.
And the chairs are more comfortable. So I don't know, kind of.
What's any gossip you can give us on, like, you know, the local news? Any, you know, has Polis been? I don't know.
I mean, he's been like.
I guess besides the Lauren Boebert looking
Oh.
like TJ Maxx goss, which is good. Thank
It
you.
is
I
good.
do appreciate that.
I don't know. Jared Polis has kind of been like.
That's the governor?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
been kind of like kissing Elon Musk's ass. That's kind of his thing lately.
I saw a Tesla car that had a bumper sticker that said, "I bought this before we knew he was crazy,"
That's a great.
which I
bumper
thought was very
sticker.
fun.
Yeah, my friend got a Tesla, and I was like, you should probably let people.
It's a big
know.
investment to just like to get rid of.
I just want him to like denote somehow that like I bought this because it's cheap, not
Yeah, if
because
there could be some kind of like symbol you can put on the
Yeah,
back,
we
or
needed a signifier. But yeah, so Polis loves Elon and RFK Jr. And he's just like he's online, girl, he's online, and he he likes to do little stunts when he's announcing stuff. So he did this thing where he got a table saw and cut a bunch of propositions and was like, we're making way for government efficiency, because Elon Musk's new thing is that he's the head of the Department of Government Efficiency or whatever under Trump. And so he did that, and he tweeted that at Musk and the other guy, Ramaswamy.
what's X now? Please
Okay,
don't dead name apps.
I'm only going to dead name it. But
Wow.
so then Ramaswamy was like, nice job. So now
Ramaswamy is who?
that's Elon's counterpart in Doge.
Counterpart.
I don't know. The Department of Government Efficiency is so efficient that they have two guys running it. So I don't know.
Damn, some sauce right there.
Yeah, I didn't come up with that. Don't give me
But it's very
credit.
funny.
Don't give me
It's funny,
credit.
though.
It is funny. But yeah,
Um,
so I don't know. He's just like thirsty after them. And then he's also thirsty for RFK. He's like, oh my God, RFK is going to be like so good for our state. He's going to, because Governor Polis.
Do we need fluoride in the water?
Governor Polis, he's a raw milk bro.
Yeah,
That boy
gotta get your
loves
protein.
He loves him
Calcium.
some raw milk.
Hey, you want to have strong bones? Is there something wrong with that?
He likes the parasites that come with it. So, anyways,
Hey, this podcast brought to you by Longmont Dairy.
raw milk,
Not gonna get parasites.
pasteurization, baby.
Yeah, I mean it's good.
Yeah. So anyway,
if RFK Jr. wanted to be on the pod, would you guys have him?
yeah.
Okay, all right,
Sure.
Because I know there's just a big thing with like, oh, we don't want to platform people that you don't always agree with.
I mean, we had that landlord guy on. Jesus Christ.
But I mean, I don't think that was your call. Was it your call?
Nothing's my call.
I thought you were the producer.
Yeah, but I'm also just
How much power do you have at CityCast?
more than I used to. I feel like.
You got a raise or something recently, or is it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But
that also came with more responsibility, I'm sure.
no, not that I know of.
Well, then how did you get more power recently?
Well, I don't know that I got more power. I just feel like now that they trust me more.
You've earned some respect.
Yeah, now that they know that I'm not just gonna like torpedo the whole thing.
Was that a fear?
I don't know. Probably. You just hire a new person on. You don't know what they're gonna do.
Okay.
Just go and delete the whole podcast.
I mean, you'd assume they do their job, so.
You assume, but you don't know.
Yeah. Gen Z, baby. You don't know what I'm going to do with this job.
You don't know. So, I don't know.
You come in very demure, very cutesy.
Very mindful.
Very mindful.
Yeah, I did.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I have sweat. Like, my opinion matters.
Good.
But I'm not the final say. Because I'm not the boss.
Right.
So, and I'm happy with that. I don't want the final say, I don't think.
Yeah, I just know that there's a lot of people I don't know. I feel like a lot of talk now is like, oh, we have to have more of a conversation. Like, you can't just silence people. But I do think that's like from the right more now that they're like, because I don't think that an idea will die if you just don't talk about it. I think things manifest and get stronger in the dark. I mean, and I love this idea of like, oh, you battle things out on the battlefield of ideas or whatever. You talk things out on the battlefield of ideas, and like the best idea will win. Because I do truly, and I hope that if an idiot comes on or if a racist comes on or something, they will. The more you talk to them, the more they will reveal that they are this thing, and that they will the better idea will ultimately win. That's my hope.
Yeah,
I might be naive.
Yeah,
but I do think you have to have conversations with people.
I agree for the most part. I don't know how I would feel if it were like, for example, like Nazi were gonna come. Like if we're gonna bring someone who's like a known and identified Nazi onto the show
to talk about being how great being a Nazi is.
I don't.
Yeah, know. I don't think anybody would really have that person on.
Well, I don't know. Like some people are
sure, some people might that agree with that person's views.
I don't know. I've had this conversation before, but like
with me?
No, but like I don't know. I don't think I would be down for that. I'd be like,
well, yeah, that one's an extreme, which I don't think anybody would. Most people would be down.
Yeah, but like things like that, I think we can draw the line at.
Sure.
So,
but yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think I was talking to Paul about this, and I think that
I don't think CityCast would have anybody on like that either.
I would throw a fit, but I think.
Sorry, you were talking to Paul.
Yeah, and I think that our landlord conversation kind of gave the like crux of exactly how I want a conversation like that to come across with someone that I don't agree with, or like anyone doesn't agree with. Like all the feedback we got about it was like, this guy sucks, like this, he got this wrong, he got this wrong, he got this wrong. But like there was nobody who was like, why are you platforming this guy? Like, why are you letting him talk? Why are you doing this? Blah, blah, blah. Because like we really, Paul pushed back on him. Paul like asked him stuff. And like the next day, we had another episode where we like responded to people's, thoughts, and like I rebutted and like all this stuff. So like it just felt like we really had the content there, and we had the like other side, but it wasn't so much like we were just giving someone a platform to be like, I hate poor people, I hate renters, like this sucks. Like,
yeah, he definitely wasn't saying that.
No, but like, we got to hear how the landlord mind thinks.
Right. Yeah.
And it pissed people off, but like in a way that like they were able to get the information and be like, oh, that guy like, really grinds my gears. Yeah. But like, just, I felt like we did it in a responsible way where people were able to discern that information without feeling like, that was irresponsible of us to do.
Yeah, I don't think, then he was like, this is irresponsible.
Nobody did.
Yeah.
Because I think we did a great job with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be an unreasonable person to say that it wasn't. And I think you built enough of a relationship with the listener base that like they know you guys don't feel this way, or that you would respond or whatever. And Paul does a great job at pushing back. Sometimes, because Paul's a personal friend of mine, so I was like, it would be hard to hear him come back at some people like that. I'm like, damn, Paul, like way to go. Because I would be, even if I was interviewing someone like that on this podcast, I might not be that. I might not have the balls to do that the way he does sometimes. So, it's definitely like a skill. It's something that you learn and stuff. That's, and I respect, there is something about, anyway, great job. I enjoy the podcast. You're not going to get anything negative from me about the podcast here.
Welcome constructive criticism.
When have I ever given
No,
criticism?
Just say I welcome it.
Okay. You could always have more me on there. That's great. I enjoy it.
You're welcome anytime.
Oh yeah, I could just show up at the 5280
You
studios.
could. It's
and
always fun
you
when
guys would
people
have
show
me
up.
on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're like, good luck getting into that building.
Yeah, do you have a key card?
Yeah. Um, yeah, no, I thought it was interesting. I mean, is that something else you think of as the producers? Like, how do we are building a relationship with our audience?
Yeah, definitely.
Think about, I mean, you guys have a company or whatever. I think about, how do I monetize on YouTube, things like that. How do I build a podcast on social media? Is that anything you worry about as a producer?
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, that's not something you guys really do.
No, and I think that the company has plans for it in the future. It's not really something I can talk about yet, but I
Okay.
think that they do have plans for it.
To do like video, maybe?
Hopefully, I can't say what they're doing yet, but hopefully. But yeah, no, I do think audience engagement is one of those things that's like kind of make or break for us as a company, like, or as a podcast, really. I mean, the company is like probably, I don't know if they give a fuck.
Yeah, because CityCast is like, has a bunch of different
Mhm.
podcasts. If
Mm,
the listener doesn't know, bunch of
yeah,
different podcasts in a bunch of different cities.
yes. So, but like, I think for us, a big part of our success is that relationship with the listener. So, we responding to listener comments on the air is a big way we, interact with them, reading people's texts they send us, playing voicemails, and also Paul and I interact with people on Reddit a lot. We have somebody made a subreddit for us. I don't know who. Kind of cool though.
Yeah, I don't know how Reddit works. So.
I don't know either, but like it's got like over
Well,
400
you're the
people.
producer, so.
Well, I don't produce Reddit, so but there's like over 400 people on it that like all our episodes get posted and people like talk about it, which is cool. So we'll be in there sometimes interacting, just like talking about stuff. I'll probably post this in there. So maybe if
Oh, okay. Well,
if I don't sound crazy. But yeah, so like and then also, when we have events and stuff, just getting to mingle with people and
yeah, I'm
like
already tired of hearing about Heyday. It's March 20th, and you guys
Are
are
you
talking
gonna
about
did
it
you
in
buy your tickets
January.
yet?
No,
What?
I'm a poor person, okay?
It's only $10 for adults. 25% off for members.
Hey, I've been on CityCast. Maybe I'm a contributor. You can let me in for free.
I'll talk to someone.
Thanks. She's gonna talk to
I
someone. Okay. Well, yeah, fun stuff. I appreciate you coming on. Anything else you think people should you would like people to be more aware of with CityCast, or in Denver news in general? Or is it depressing? Oh yeah, because we were talking about like, do you feel better or worse about the state of back in 2016 we were all worried about Trump getting in office, and now he's about to doing it again now. Do you feel like
Yeah.
the time's it's just been a circle? How
I
you
don't I
how you
don't
doing?
know. I was trying to think about this the other day because, like, clearly in 2016, I felt like this was my call to action kind of thing. Like,
Mhm.
ta-da! Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be
As a junior in high school.
a senior, my first
I
semester
thought you said
senior.
okay.
First semester senior.
No, I mean, that's just like, wow,
Yeah.
what initiative.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be a good person and like, change the
I was
world.
just like, I should get a girlfriend.
I'm gonna change the world.
I was like, I should maybe lose some weight.
I was gonna change the world. I was really like
You're doing it. I mean, you're doing more than most people.
I don't know. And now
Sure, I mean, you can compare yourself to whatever, but it's
I'm no
I
heart
think you're doing
surgeon.
great.
I don't know. Now I'm just kind of like it's happened.
I'm no heart surgeon. That's your standard for everything?
I don't know. Now it's happened again.
That might be the title of this episode. I'm no heart surgeon.
It's happened again. And now I don't know. I don't know, how to feel. I don't think I feel the same call to action I felt last time. I feel more depressed this time for sure. I
Wow.
definitely went through like kind of like November. I was very depressed, like just very like the world feels bad kind of thing. And I think I'm more out of that now by trying to focus on things that like locally matter to me and stuff, and also just I don't know. I feel like I'm slightly better, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have the same renewed vigor that I did in 2016. I think
Yeah.
I'm maybe slightly more jaded now, which kind of sucks, but I'm going to still continue doing my work and enjoying it, and like I'm glad that I'm in local news and not national news because I really do think local news is important and fun, and thank God, there's a lot of cool stuff and
You
interesting
got
stuff
to act
happening
local.
Yeah, it's just better for my sanity, I think. Definitely. Like if I was doing national news, it's just there's not a lot of good shit happening. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of maybe you should ask me something nice. That's like a really sad way to
I'm not feeling great about it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know.
About the state of the
Slightly
world.
depressed.
Yeah. I had this comedian Jackie Cation on an episode or two ago, and she was saying that we're in the laziest civil war.
A very passive civil war.
Yeah, she was like, it's gonna be lazy until it's not, and then it's gonna be bloody.
Well, you
And I
just
was
gotta
like,
wait
"God
until
damn."
they take TikTok away, and then the Gen Z army is gonna rise up.
Oh yeah.
You can take our guns, but you can't take my nerds clusters.
Well, they're not
and
taking
my
your guns; they're taking your app.
yeah, they're taking my
And
app.
the boomers have the guns.
And then
for sure.
RFK Jr. is gonna try to take my nerds clusters.
Oh, is that something? Oh yeah, because of the health stuff.
It's gonna be a terrible year.
I don't think he can get rid of sugar.
Yeah, he's gonna get rid of red number 40. That's like the main ingredient in nerds clusters. It's gonna be a bad year if I lose both those things.
Yeah. Well,
I'll stockpile them.
there you go.
Costco.
Yeah. Stockpile them and then resell. Huh?
Resell.
Can
Maybe
make
I'll
some
become
money.
a reseller. Who knows?
Who knows?
Could happen.
Yeah.
Always gotta have a side hustle, right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. All right. Well, it's a great note to end on. Where can people find you? Do you want to promote anything? Last thing for CityCast here? I appreciate your work and I enjoy
Thank
it.
you.
So for whatever it's worth, I'm glad you got the job over me.
Oh yeah, I didn't know.
Well, I applied.
Oh,
It sounds like you're doing a lot more real stuff.
it's funny. There's actually this guy that got a job in my old newsroom.
Okay.
And he started like right when I was leaving, and I was like, "Oh, hey, like nice to meet you." And he goes, "Hey," he was like, "Congrats on the job at CityCast." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And he goes, "I applied for that job." I was, "Oh," and he goes, "I didn't get it." And I was like,
Obviously.
"Okay." I just met you.
Hey, did you know that getting a job means that other people didn't get the job?
I was
Olivia.
like, okay, bye. I don't know. You can follow me at Waste of My Life on Instagram. I post
Very positive ad,
sporadically.
you know? Maybe think more positively. You know,
Think
have you ever tried
positive.
that?
Think positive.
You know, The Secret was big for millennials. Maybe Gen Z could use something like that, huh?
What is it? Keep calm and chive on.
Do you think that's what The Secret is?
For millennials.
No, The Secret is The Secret for millennials.
Oh.
For you, I don't know what.
I don't know.
It's about thinking positive and manifesting.
Oh,
you know,
manifesting, probably.
Positive future.
Manifest that shit.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Just manifest that shit.
I'm going to.
All right.
All right.
All right. Wakanda forever. Be excellent to each other. And thanks for being on, Olivia.
Thank you.
Keep on doing the news.
Chive.
All right. Appreciate it.
Bye.